I watched a lot of superhero shows growing up. Static Shock, Justice League, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, 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 Spider... But none even came close to what's arguably the absolute best superhero show to ever be created. I am of course talking about Batman, the animated series. This show was everything Batman. He was dark but never cruel. He treated his villains with violence yet with sympathy. In the face of overwhelming odds, in the face of the Gotham's ever-increasing crime rate, he faced it all. And above all else, he always tried to do the right thing. He was simply a hero. And having one of the few kick-ass double opening to my heart. Batman! 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 One of the series' strongest aspects, I believe, was that it really loved Batman. It loved the character, his villains, and his morals. It never once made fun or rolled its eyes on the concept. When Batman is fighting Clayface, it lets the horror of the concept play. When he is fighting Baby Doll, it's a heart-touching drama. And at the center of it all, there were Batman to hold it all together.
It's chocolate.
But the animated series, for all its accomplishment, it faced the same problem that faced every other animated superhero show. It was a PG cartoon.
I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS? No, thank you.
I don't think it's much of a secret that most general audiences still see animation as an amateur kids media. Oh, I'm sorry, genre. Say, if it's not enough action or a plus 18 movie, most people sadly won't take it seriously. And so, when people think of Batman, they don't think of this. They think of this.
Find him! Save Martha! Why did you say that name?
When making most of the Batman movies, the thought process was, let's make this more mature, more adult. Still seeing the animated series and Justice League for that matter, not as a show that kids can watch, but one that can only be enjoyed by them. That, of course, wasn't always the case, with Batman and Robin / Mask of Phantasm coming to mind. But for the most part, sadly it was the case.
Now that's a punchline.
The movies varied a lot, not just in quality but also in direction. Some went more on the serious side while others embraced the serious side of him a little more. And that's something every adaptation handled differently. Cause on the surface level, this was a story about a rich guy in a bad costume fighting a clown, a penguin looking dude and someone's hand. But that was just it, surface level. Baby Doll was a celebrity having what got her famous being the same thing that's causing her suffering. Clayface relied so much on the drugs that helped him continue his career till seeking it destroyed his entire body. And Dr. Freeze, silly as he might look, have one of the saddest stories of any character, let alone villain. And there was the Joker, who was a representation of everything that Batman stood against. An argument about how it just took one bad day to turn someone into the Joker. A theme that gets repeated a lot during the show. And by the way, the whole argument thing, remember it will be important later. And especially after seeing what comes next.
Finally learn to do what is necessary. I won't kill you. But I don't have to save you.
This right here is the biggest problem with most of the quote-unquote adult Batman movies. But for the sake of the narrative, let's put a pin in it for a sec, okay? A common problem with the Dark Knight trilogy is that for every decision they get right, they seem to miss up one or two others to balance things out. And this right here is the prime example of that. Now let me ask you a question real quick. Why doesn't the Batman kill the Joker? Is it because A, killing is wrong no matter what? Is it because B, DC need their villains to keep returning for more issues no matter how incompetent this makes the hero's argument is? Or is it C, because Batman believes that everyone can be saved? Pop quiz. What is Batman's most important and defining characteristic? I'm actually asking, go down in the comments. Come on, I'll wait. Okay, done? Okay. If you ask me, I'll tell you without hesitation, it's the no killing rule.
so you won't kill, but you're fine with traumatic brain injuries.
I don't think it's much of a stretch to say that the no-killing rule is Batman's most controversial aspect, but I'm not here to take sides, not at least. The no-killing rule is a code Batman decides to follow after his parents were murdered in a random act of violence. He promised himself that for all his own violence and sometimes extreme acts, that he will never, ever take a life, because everyone can be saved. No matter how many times he have to stop the Joker, no matter how many times he have to risk his life, he will never, ever give up on someone. He will never take the easy way out, and if that's not a true hero, then I don't know what is.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Of course, this code wasn't perfect, but status, it's simple. In fact, way too simple. It paints everything as black and white. Killing is always wrong, and that's it. Now, let's take a look at how the animated series handled it. While the villains are ruthless as ever, they never go that far. Yes, they take hostages, threaten lives, and are a huge threat. But Batman always 100% saves the day. He always saves all the innocent lives. He always saves the day. The Joker will keep coming, and Batman will always thwart his plans. What the show is doing here is keep the losses, risks, and suffering exclusively between Batman and his villains, justifying his no-killing rule. Now let's see how the movies handle it. Let me set up the scene for you. The Joker escaped from prison, kidnaps Robin, Batman's son, holds him in the middle of nowhere and tortures him for days. Batman comes for the rescue. He will save the day. He will save his son, because Batman always saves the day. Batman failed. The Joker managed to kill someone, and not just anyone. It was Batman's own adopted son. Batman sticks to his code, doesn't kill the Joker there and then, and returns him to prison. The Joker escapes from prison, starts a gang war, and blows up a school full of children. A horrible, non-human act that Batman fails to prevent. But Batman sticks to his code and returns the Joker to prison. The Joker escapes from prison, goes to a church and starts shooting everyone at random. Screaming man, dead. A crying woman, dead. A priest is praying for someone to come and save them. Batman will come and save them. Batman will save the day. Batman arrives. One last girl survived. The Joker takes her as a hostage. It's a tense situation, but the terrified girl holds out hope that Batman will. Everyone died. Batman couldn't save a single one. And then this happened. He prays with him. He plays his game. He plays his damn game. With all the people that he hurt, with all the people that he's continuing to hurt. Gordon's wife, Alfred, Barbara, Jason Todd. And then you ask, why? Why doesn't he just put an end to this? Why doesn't he just stop all the suffering and deaths any of those innocent people deserve to live over the Joker? How is it fair that all these good people die while the Joker continues to breathe? I mean, I'm not asking to kill the Penguin or Dr. Freeze, just this monster. So just tell me, why?
But if I do that, if I allow myself to go down into that place, I'll never come back.
Why? I'm not talking about killing Penguin or Scarecrow or Dent. I'm talking about him. Just him. And doing it because he took me away from you.
What? What? Because if he starts killing, he will never stop? Because he wins? That doesn't make any sense! Do I really have to explain why this doesn't make any sense? I think the worst part about this argument that it does not talk about what's the right thing to do. He says even so, this man should die. The code says otherwise. So he will let this man keep destroying everything in his wake.
I won't kill you. don't have to save you.
No, that's even worse. Now it's just the code, not why he does what he does. Just the code says this, and that's final. That's what I mean. That these writers don't have an understanding of why he does what he does. So it's just simplified to a code that can be played around. Because at the very least you could have went with the Superman's route.
Twit! If you think I'll just go to jail and rot, you're living in a dream world!
Good. Dreams save us. Dreams lift us up and transform us into something better. And on my soul, I swear that until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice are the reality we all share, I'll never stop fighting. Ever.
Superman doesn't kill either. Why?
First, I don't believe that the world is broken. Because when we say the world, we're really talking about people. And it's always been my belief that people, at their core, are good. The grace of mankind is everywhere. You just have to open your eyes. Humanity has a limitless potential for good.
It's about saving everyone, even the bad guys, to see the good in people, to believe that everyone, even the damn Joker, can be saved. Rather than just saying, because the code says so. Circling back to the whole argument thing, listen to those two side by side and then tell me if you can spot the difference. One doesn't kill because he believes that everyone can be better and he will continue saving the day till they are. The other will not kill because he's afraid that after crossing that line, he will not be able to control himself and will continue killing. And worst of all, I'm very well knowing that he will not be able to stop the villains every time. And he's completely fine with the circle repeating itself. Oh my god! This is Steven Universe all over again! For some reason, most of Batman's characteristics in later adaptation, looking at you, DCAU and 2016 Batman, is just being a dick. He is saving a terrified kid. He mentions that Superman would have smiled and comforted the kid, but then starts saying, nah, I'm way too cool and edgy for that, so I ain't gonna do none of that. One of his friends died. Suddenly, the code means nothing to him, and then he goes on a killing spree. Because these versions of Batman's idea of complex is just making him dark and edgy for the sake of being dark and edgy. Because for some reason, being complex is confused for being the same morally gray. Heck, sometimes not even that. One time I just had them while putting a kryptonite on Superman say, even though Superman is a good person, I am not. Like what? With even that being said, these days he just gets off on with telling his 14-year-old son that if I was there that day, then Alfred would still be alive, which is sheesh, and that is worse. He just gets around to doing whatever maniacal crap All-Stars Batman is doing right there. But with even that being said, the story still always finds a way to make him in the right. With what I like to call the Batman is always right plot. The Batman is always the right plot, as I like to call it, is any situation where the story decides to bend over backward just to prove that whatever questionable actions Batman is doing at the moment are always the right things to do. For example, we all love the Robins, but sometimes you wanna ask, is taking kids off the streets and having them fight crimes with no pants on really is the right things to do? Well, of course it is. This is Batman we're talking about, and Batman is always right. And just if you're having doubts, here's a story to show what will the Robins be without Batman. Stephen becomes the leader of, well, this is either Teen Titans or Young Justice, take your pick. Dick becomes a successful spy, Jason's a NASCAR driver who runs a charity, and Damian is a Buddhist monk. I'm sorry, what? Damian Wayne, the biggest brat in the DC or whatever. The important thing that they are all happy in this different alternative timeline. Right? Just kidding. Batman's actions are always right, remember? Stephanie gets into a fight with the Justice League and betrays her team. Damian fails to continue being a good guy without the Batman and returns to being a killer machine. Dick just loses his mind, no questions asked. And Jason loses a race, starts stealing cars, and is put in jail. Yup, all gone. They should be thankful for the Batman, because if he didn't make them Robins, all their lives would be destroyed. They are nothing without the Batman, and heck, he didn't even need to strawman their point that proves that, oh, did I forget to talk about injustice? Injustice is a what-if story. It explores the concept of what will happen if heroes started killing people. An admittedly interesting concept that could show a world where different heroes deal with the absence of the code, showing that the problem isn't black and white and that things are more complicated than they seem. And I'm just getting out of my ass. Sorry, shit. Injustice is the clearest example of the Batman is always right problem. Here's the premise. Batman and the Joker's cycle continue as normal. With that being, murder, prison, escape, murder, prison, escape, murder, prison, escape. But then he goes too far. He heads to Metropolis City, explodes a giant bomb, and killing Lois Lane, her unborn child, and millions other. On that day, Superman, overwhelmed by grief on the loss of his wife and his unborn son, does something drastic. Back on prison, both Batman and the Joker know this is not gonna keep him for long. He is just gonna escape, kill another person, destroy another family, or bomb another city. Then Batman says this:
You took his wife. You took his unborn child. And his city. Why?
After all these years, Batsy, you really need reasons from me?
This has always been about us. Why do this to him?
This does not work on so many levels. As we have established before, part of what makes Batman the animated series works, Batman has to be always able to save the day, and by doing that he can keep his quest to try and save the Joker between the two of them. But here's every single time the Joker escapes, another atrocity is committed. To be honest, no one deserves that many chances. Getting back to the scene, Superman breaks through the wall, holds the Joker and puts a hole through his chest, making sure that he will never hurt another person ever again. Then he turns into a freaking Hitler. You see, the only way injustice can make its story work if you make everyone, as with Superman, acts awfully out of character. Superman, Clark Kent, who was raised to know nothing but kindness, is now a killing machine. Is okay with taking over the world, killing children, everything else. Heck, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Green Lantern just say, yeah, sure, why not? Wonder Woman especially is a straight up psychopath in this, who kills everyone that opposes her, and it's Batman and those who stand with him to stop this madness. There is no argument, there is no conversation, there is no point of view. The story makes it clear that Batman is the good guy and Superman is the bad guy. If you think that killing is never needed under any circumstances, then you're right. If you think that maybe under some circumstances they're better off dead, then you're gonna turn into a mass murdering psychopath, a dictator who is okay with mass genocide regimes and brainwashing. But with all of that being said, it is really not that complicated. You either have to stay low enough, as in the Joker does not have to be killed, or if you want to tackle the killing question, you have to actually tackle it, not strawman everyone's idea to force your way through Batman's being right. Because what we got right here, this version of Batman comes at best as utterly naive and at worst as amazingly hypocritical. But sadly, even with the stories that decide to go against that, they will not have Batman's morality be questioned. Take Mask of the Phantasm for an example. The building is about to explode. Batman gotta escape, but Andrea will not let the Joker live, even if it cost her her life. So she stays, taking the Joker's life with her, ensuring that he will never hurt anyone ever again. The Joker died, but Batman's hands stay clean. The Joker kidnaps Robin again, but this time he did not kill him. He tortures him, brainwashes him to become this creepy virgin, a mini Joker. Batman loses it and attacks him to end this. At last, Batman cannot break his code. Not for his city, not for his friends, and not for his own son. So Robins have to shoot the Joker, killing him. Even so, the Joker had to die. Batman's hand had to stay clean. The closest we ever got to that was when Harley forced him to choose between saving her or saving the Joker. But still, his hands remain clean. He never made the decision. If he had his way, the Joker will continue living to kill even more people. That's when we return to...
I won't kill you. But I don't have to save you.
Problem isn't that what a hero would do, but that it's always about the stupid code. But, as I keep on saying, there is a way this could be done right. Just how is it that the PG cartoon manages to be more adult and even more complex than the plus 18 crap? Because this right here, the animated series Justice League and Batman Beyond do Batman perfectly. When Batman sees a terrified kid, he does not say, I am way too cool and edgy to make him feel better. No, he sits next to them and comforts them in their time of need. When he is pushed up against the wall with no other choice to save a hostage, he says screw the code and pulls up a gun on the bad guy. Because you wanna know why Batman does what he does? Because he is a hero, a warrior of justice that always wanna do the right thing, and most importantly, he always manages to save the day. And that is what I believe to be the key aspect of getting the relationship between the Batman and the Joker right. When he fails time and again to save the day, when innocent people are dropping like flies left or right, when a new family is destroyed at the hand of the Joker every single time he decides to spare him, he comes off as an incompetent, naive idiot that values his code above all else. But when he always saves the day, when the Joker is always thwarted, with no one other than the Batman get hurt, he can keep trying with the Joker. He can keep trying to save him as much as he likes, because he will always defeat him. Why? Because Batman is a hero, and the hero always wins.